What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Battle of Central Europe Season 3. This is going to be a real best of two this time between Denial and Power Rangers, and, well, this is hopefully going to be a good one. Denial and Power Rangers, last time I checked, are about at even standings in this tournament. I don't know if this is the most recent thing I'm looking at. It says Denial 3-2, Power Rangers 3-3, so it seems like if all keeps staying the course, then these two teams will end up in the same part of the bracket. As the way it works, number one place in the group moves on to the second round of the winners. 2 and 3 go to the first round of winners, and 4 goes to losers. So I'm inclined to think that these games don't really matter that much, because they're probably just going to get 2 and 3, but I don't know. I could be reading it wrong. The thing could be from yesterday and not updating. Who knows? I have no idea. Anyway, here on HeflaTV Hitbox 1, I'm once again going to be all by myself. You know what they say, 1 is the loneliest number, and I'm going to be bringing you all the action. So thanks for watching, guys. It really means a lot to you. It really means a lot to me that you guys decided to tune in and watch the game. So I'll be keeping an eye on the chat, so maybe we'll get a little more interaction since I don't have anyone else to work with right now, which is pretty fun. But we have ourselves a draft right now. In Denial, fresh off of a loss versus Aftershock. Power Rangers just went 1-1 versus My Insanity. I don't know if they just lost or they just won, because I was kind of doing my own thing over here. But regardless, both teams have just come off a loss, and it looks like Denial are going to go back to their roots, really. Beastmaster is a very much so Denial esports type of hero. And it works pretty well. Funzy is the one to play it. I think it's just going to be an off-lane Beastmaster. Going for a puck also towards the mid lane is going to be pretty safe for Denial. And the way this Beastmaster works is that they use the roar in order to keep pace of the game. Actually, that's how Beastmaster works in general. What I've seen of Denial is that if they don't have anyone who typically would go for an earn, then Beastmaster is the one to do it. He ganks very aggressively. He uses his Hawk to scout everything out. And basically, he's just the map pack pick. Like, they pick him just for the intention of being able to see everything around the map. And to further add to that, they usually go for a very early gem on the hero. So, you know, you have the Hawk, you have True Sight. It's a pretty sick combination. And if you have a lot of ganking power behind it, you'll be fantastic. Lots of initiation already for Denial, and banning out the Phases Void. They're going to make sure to hold on to said initiation power. Power Rangers, they're going to open up with 2 green heroes, because that is clearly the best way to go in Dota. Viper and Tidehunter, very strong picks for sure. 2 heroes that very rarely lose their lanes. It's possible for it, but it's unlikely, as Viper will probably be going towards the mid lane versus the puck, and Tidehunter is going to be soloing a lane off to the side. Aside from that, really these 2 picks from Power Rangers aren't too interesting. I mean, there's nothing really too special about them just yet. They're fairly balanced. They have a little bit of team fight mixed in, lots of lane control, yada yada. Nothing too impressive. Not like the Beastmaster, who really changes the game by quite a bit. Double support picks right now. Power Rangers going to slam down the Vengeful Spirit, whereas Denial are going to be happy to pick up the Bane very highly. Maybe setting up for a Mirana, and when you do have a Bane Mirana, it does let you play that much more aggressively. Or they could just go for a Slardar. Like, they could do that too. That's fine. Man, Slardar, definitely not the pick that I really would have expected. And it's generally not the pick unless you already have kind of a sneaky minor minus armor sub-theme. My god, try saying that 10 times fast. But like most of the time we see Slardar when a team first picks Razor, then they end up getting a Tidehunter, and that's like, oh, I mean, those are pretty standard heroes, but they both have minus armor, and then you kind of sneak in a Vengeful Spirit, then you sneak in a Slardar, then you find yourself a TA, and then you're golden, because it turns out all your heroes have minus armor and a ton of physical damage. Right now for Denial, that isn't really there. Hell, they don't even have that much physical damage. I mean, Slardar is purely physical. Beastmaster is now, I think, magical with his axes. Oh no, this is physical now. Okay, so yeah, 8-2 damage changes, not entirely up to date on all of them. This is magical, this is physical, but Puck is purely magical, Bane is purely magical, and even pure a little bit. So Slardar, amplified damage axe combo, is that a thing? Wild axes, not axes. I don't know, it seems like Slardar is just picked up kind of for the hell of it. Now they're going to ban out the Dazzle. I mean, they need another support hero, and it would have given them another target for minus armor. But as far as minus armor supports are concerned, I don't think there are any more in the pool. Vengeful Spirit is one, Dazzle is the other.
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe
5 seconds remaining.
Visage with the medallion. He usually goes for medallion, so kind of, sort of, not really. Ogre Magi would have been pretty good, but unfortunately banned out by Power Rangers. Power Rangers, they have an Abaddon right now, and it is actually looking like a lineup where they would be wishing they had a Necrophos, but they can't get a Death Prophet right now, so they might as well go for that. But Denial have a Sniper, so it is going to be a Phantom Assassin for Power Rangers, so they're going to be playing a relatively slow game, I expect, with Phantom Assassin Viper. For Denial, they have lots of vision, for sure. I mean, they have a Hawk, they have the Shrapnel giving a little bit of vision here and there, and they have, of course, the Bird from the Beastmaster. But Sniper as a pick. Well, first of all, Sniper does not like going up against Phantom Assassins. That is not where Sniper really likes to play. He's short, he's stubby, he can't really run that fast, and if you cut his head off, then he'll die just like anyone else. That's pro tips by the pros, by the way. If you cut his head off, he will die. You could quote me on that one. But if he gets jumped upon by Phantom Assassin later on in the game, Sniper's just screwed. The good thing for Sniper is that he has a little bit of cover. He has Nightmare from Bane. He has Beastmaster Roar, which is probably going to be the most relevant tool at dealing with the Phantom Assassin. I don't really think Funzy is going to want to roar anybody else, you know, outside of just random single gangs, which is, in that case, you roar whoever you could find. But later on in the fights, when roar actually becomes a useful initiation / shutdown tool, then the roars are going to be reserved for Phantom Assassin. Power Rangers will have Abaddon in order to buff that out, and really Abaddon right now seems pretty good. You can protect yourself or your team from pretty much anything that Denial has to throw at you. It is going to suffer a little bit in lane, but I don't really think Power Rangers need any more laning power. The Avenged Phantom Assassin by themselves is pretty good. Then you have Viper and Tidehunter, two self-sufficient heroes. You don't need another hero to poke at lane. Of course, having another hero is never going to be a bad thing, but there's no reason to go in for a little bit more. Also, guys, just gotta get some clerical stuff out of the way first. The ticket is in the Dota 2 store, so for $5 US or however much that is in your currency, you could pick up the ticket, get a pretty sweet Meepo set, and then not play Meepo. And then whenever you try to play Meepo to play with the set, everyone's gonna get really angry at you. So if you want to get your entire team angry at you, buy the Battle Essential Europe 3 ticket. Also, if my volume between my voice and my music is really off, then please let me know. Hopefully it's right now. I bumped the music up last time by just a touch, but I really don't know how loud I am in comparison to my music on the stream, and I can't test it either without messing up the stream and messing up the broadcast. So please be sure to let me know as far as that is concerned, guys. And other than that, it should be just about it to get into this game. We got Denial loading out right now, and it's going to be fucking mad on the Slardar, joined by Paris on the Sniper for now. Dral's going to be playing the Puck. Cryo J is on the Bane, and that leaves towards the top lane Funzy on his Beastmaster. On the Power Ranger side, Cheshire Cat is going to be on the Tidehunter, seen that time and time again. Ditchera is on the Viper, seen that time and time again. J4 on the Vengeful Spirit, with Sachlo on the Phantom Assassin, wielding quite a sick scythe. Yeah, you don't really want to get too close to that, and that's going to leave Soniko of the Laputa on the Abaddon support. So, yeah. This should be a pretty interesting setup, I want to say, as fucking Mad usually is a support player. I mean, maybe they could switch things up, but he has a Cork type loadout, so does Sniper, but they're all going to a same lane. And you can't have two, I guess you can have two heroes split farm in a lane. That'll just be like forging the meta. Like, that's just so next level that I don't even know what level we're on right now. But anyway, Funzy up on top lane is going to be probably the most cut and dry lane. It's Beastmaster up there. He will not be able to easily stack, as it's a lot easier to do that from the Dire side. You can just go over here and then throw your whirling axes, chop, 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 and then well, these guys pull out, and then you could get some stacks up. For Funzy, it's going to be a little more difficult, but he will be able to get a little bit of something here and there. And again, really all he wants is to get maxed out Call the Wild and to give a lot of vision to his team. And he's going to be going up against three heroes. He's probably not going to have the most fun time there. Mid lane Ditchera is going to be going up against Joral, and this is a fairly even matchup, with Viper holding a slight lead just because of the amount of sustained harassment he could put out. But Joral should be perfectly fine in this lane. That, of course, leaves the weird lane down towards bottom, where it's going to be a... Yeah, okay, well, Funzy, first of all, is going to get jumped, and he's going to take quite a bit of damage. This is something that's going to be pretty much par for the course from Denial, but yeah, Slardar is going to be supporting with a Bane Nightmare setup. So let's very quickly list things that Nightmare is good at setting up, guys. We got Arrow, we got like Split Earth and LSA and Torrent, And now we have Slitherian Crush, which is, as far as setups or stuns are concerned, not exactly the best. Like level 1 it only does 50, level 4 it only does 200, which is kind of on the low-ish end. So it's not exactly like an impressive stun. This is, I think, just an attempt at keeping the Tidehunter off the lane. And they're kind of just wanting to pseudo jungle fucking mad, which is fine. But I mean, Funzy's kind of getting roughed up on top lane. He's gonna get jumped upon. Has stick charges and a stout shield, so he should be just fine from this one. But still, this Beastmaster is getting nothing. I guess the Tidehunter is also getting nothing. Cheshire Cat is going to start now farming. Has picked up a very early Quelling Blade in anticipation of this type of scenario happening. So Tidehunter is going to be able to get something. And I think this is just, could we call it what it is? A jungling Slardar. I can't say that I've seen this before, guys. Slardar support is something that we don't see all that often, as I'm pretty sure 100% of the time that I've seen Slardar, he has been playing the core farming role, because, hey, a Blink Dagger with amplified damage, get a lot of damage, it seems pretty good to me. I don't know. But they're going to try to go for Funzy up on top lane. This time with a double damage rune on J4. Funzy taking quite a bit of damage from this VS, even getting body blocked a little bit. Funzy's going to be the first blood with another dagger. No, one more hit. There we go. Shacho's going to jump forward for that one, and Funzy's going to take a fall. It's pretty much par for the course. Beastmaster, though he is fairly tanky as far as strength heroes are concerned, is not going to be able to withstand against Vengeful Spirit PA, who, as promised, is pretty self-sufficient just as a duo. And you could, of course, have a couple more heroes thrown into that just for kicks, but really Abaddon's going to be doing a very similar thing to what the Slardar is doing, in that he will be able to help out a little bit in the lane should the situation arise, like what we see right now. But for the most part, he's going to be on pulling duty when J4 is not looking actively for kills. If they didn't have the double damage rune, there would have been no kill there, so I guess there's no sense in progressing forward in that manner. Over towards mid lane, 15 for 1 versus the 13 for 1. As promised, it is Viper with a very, very slight lead, and, well, it's probably not going to be changing that much, but Sniper, let's take a quick look at his skill build. He is going to go for what looks like a maxed out Shrapnel build, and this seems just fine for this particular game. It's a very slow pushing tool, but it's one of the safest pushing tools. Like, you could cast it from, like, over here if you're in mid lane. You could, hit it from over here. So that, I don't know how long that is, but that seems pretty long to me. And, well, over towards bottom lane, it's a little bit, it's not as impressive since you will not have that much range. Like, you could push this tower from about over here and be safe. So it is very slow, and with no one in lane, it's going to be very safe as well. He's going to be getting pretty much all the last hits on the bottom lane, although last hitting under tower as Sniper is actually pretty difficult since Sniper's base damage is pretty crappy. He will be able to make it happen eventually, and once he gets a couple levels, he will slowly start to chip at that tower. And Power Rangers, they can't do anything about this, unless they just can't do anything about this. Cheshire Cat, once he gets level 6, might be able to do something about that, but until then, it's not going to happen. Funzy and Joral going to set up for this Tide. He's going to dodge the orb, however. He's going to run straight back into Funzy. Actually, it's back into Soniko, and Joral's going to jump forward, ending up with the magic missile dodge. Joral's going to survive that one, but here comes Ichira, plus the daggers from the high ground. Joral bit off way more than he can chew, and the puck is going to go down. Can't really blame him for that, though. I mean, if the orb hit, Tidehunter would have been dying for sure, but unfortunately just certainly was not to be, and Slardar support trying to sprint into the action, that's probably not going to happen either, guys. So, fucking mad is going to try to get some farm over towards this mid lane, but I still don't really know the end game of this Slardar. I feel like if you're going to be doing this, then you might as well be running a support Centaur who is going to be able to get to level 6 and have huge amounts of contributions to the team, as opposed to Slardar, who once he gets to level 6 is going to have kind of contributions to his team with amplified damage, but it's not as direct as a Stampede. So if you're looking for a super greedy pseudo support, pseudo jungler, I think you could do definitely a lot better than Slardar. Of course, I don't know yet. He hasn't really done anything. A little bit later, we'll see if the Slardar is actually able to contribute anything, or if he's just going to be dead weight. I guess the more farm Funzy gets, the more levels he gets, the higher level Whirling Axes becomes, and the more farm Sniper gets, then Slardar gets a lot better. So in that regard, it's fine. But I'm pretty sure the build right now for Slardar is going to be get Blink Dagger as fast as I can and try to start things kind of like a straight shaker. Except if you wanted that, then you probably should have went for an Earth Shaker instead. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Meantime, Paris is still happily farming down on the bottom lane. We see Cheshire Cat happily farming the jungle. Somehow made this pull happen. What the hell went on here? Okay, so they have quite an elaborate set of pulls right now. Cheshire Cat's level 4. He's going to have some slow jungling for sure, but not as slow as a Slardar. he will be able to have a Ravage at level 6, and then he's going to be able to do pretty much whatever he wants whenever he wants. But Power Rangers like ganking the Sniper, which is what I was talking about before the Top River fight started to break out, is going to be very difficult in this game because their supports are kind of static. Vengeful Spirit can go around, although we've seen it previously. She won't really be able to get those kills unless she has something like a double damage rune or a haste rune or something like that. And Abaddon, as far as ganking lanes, is pretty damn useless as well. He's just going to farm the bottom lane a little bit, but I don't even know if he could do that comfortably. So the ganking rotation power of Power Rangers is really not that great, and that's why I said earlier they were going to play this a little bit slower. I mean, Viper's more than happy to just free farm this mid lane. Tidehunter's happy to get what he can up towards top lane, clearing out a 4 stack of neutrals, and he will be just fine in doing that. So, you know, Tide's getting pretty much what he wants, Viper's getting what he wants, Phantom Assassin's getting what he wants, and Denial, they're kind of getting what they want, but what they want is definitely not as ambitious as what Power Rangers want. As, you know, given the choice between a farm Sniper and a farm Phantom Assassin, I'd probably take the farm Phantom Assassin every single day of the week, as Sniper is so very easily shut down, especially when you put him toe-to-toe with that said Phantom Assassin. One crit and this dwarf guy's head is going to go rolling, so it's not fun times, but they are going to start with this slow push. They have Ring of Aquila turned on. They have enough damage on this Sniper to make him a threat to this tower, plus Shrapnel, which does actually do pretty good damage to creep waves if you could, you know, perfectly catch the creep wave in the AoE. Unfortunately, not like that. It's still doing enough damage on this tower to force some sort of rotation from Power Rangers, else they lose a tower for free. We also see the first gank attempt from Bane and Slaughter. They're both level 4, which is actually not too terrible. But this is going to be a very tough kill. They need to set up with a coil, and it needs to be perfect. Although the smoke is now blown by the Slardar, and I believe that was spotted by Dichira, although it might have been just outside of the vision range. Slaughter really doesn't want to get into a fight over this rune right now. Tower and bottom lane is going to be destroyed, and Sniper can keep going for more if he wants to, but they're going to start a fight up now. Slotcho and J4 are going to hit with a two-man crush, two-man coil as well. Crowd going to brain sap J4, trying to burst down this Vengeful Spirit. Magic Missile does come out, but it's way too late. Drow going to get hit with the crit, but an orb flying through. Slotcho is going to grab his invis rune, and he's just fine. No amplified damage, unfortunately, there for fucking Mad, and it will just be a single kill for Denial, but you can't really be too unhappy about that one. Your Slaughter, who would ordinarily not have many opportunities to make large contributions, got something for you. And that's going to be pretty sweet for him. And they also get a tower on bottom lane. This is a tower that now is in danger on the tier 2s. The tier 2 tower is now in danger, rather. If you speak English, that's how it works. Paris is going to never, ever stop this one. He has Ring of Aquila, which is a great item on Sniper, but it's not going to let you 24/7 spam out Shrapnel. You really need to go for something like Yule Scepter or something like that. If you really want to do that, and Caster Sniper, as fun as it is, probably isn't the most viable way to go, and you also have a Slardar on your team, so probably it would be beneficial to Paris if he went for something a little bit more safer, a little bit more standard. A Blink Dagger would not be surprising right now, although a Hand of Midas won't be terrible either. So he's only on to 2k, and usually at this point, those are the two options when you're holding on to that much gold, unless you're an August Iron, in which case it's straight Relic, and that's hopefully not going to be the case. They have a Roar on Funzy. He's been farming up in the background. They're going to set up on Shotch, though. Orb is going to land, and the silence through. That's going to kill the Phantom Assassin. Very easily done up on top. Beastmaster's kind of been flying under the surface. He's been scouting out with his boar, and, you know, Bird is keeping track of the top lane, but he's been getting levels, now has a medallion, so there is a pseudo minus armor sub-theme starting to shape up now for Denial. All they need is a Desolator on the Sniper, and they'll be golden. But they have the Roar power, and we saw how easy it was to set up kills just with that Roar in itself. I mean, you need a little bit more help if you're actually going to get those kills, but anyone on Denial can provide that help. It's pretty much just a free-for-all as far as who's going to participate, and it is going to be a Hand of Midas for Paris. It is not going to be the fastest of items. Slowing down for Phase Boots and Ring of Aquila is quite expensive. So Hand of Midas, though it is up pre-10 minutes, which is probably like the maximum you want to get it on a core hero, it's still going to be, in the grand scheme of things, rather slow. And, oh no, this is Power Rangers, wasn't it? Power Rangers were the ones who were disconnecting all day yesterday, because I believe it was Shotchlo's computer that is terrible. So, lucky me, I'm going to be sitting here for all the pauses. Hooray. Ugh. I guess I should just, like, make myself comfortable in this gray screen. And, we'll take a quick look at the state of the game. I don't think there's any impressive item pickups just yet. We got upgraded boots. Hand of Midas from Paris is flying out to him. Nothing onto Joral. Blink Dagger status on Puck. Not really that close. Fucking Mad Blink Dagger status? A little bit closer, actually. I guess you just rush up a Blink on Slaughter. The Medallion was flying out to Funzy previously, and that's about it for Denial. We have the workings of a mech. Ra is going to have that one before anyone does not even thinks about going for a mech. So the mech advantage is going to be in favor of Power Rangers for quite a long time in this game. Everyone else, though, with not that much to their name. There's a little bit of gold on PA, but she actually doesn't have that much. Does she really not have this much? How does she have this little? I just like it seems like she just doesn't have anything right now. She is 1500 behind the sniper. I guess that is a tower going the way of the sniper and he is last hitting slightly better. But Phantom Assassin she bought a bottle. That's what's jarring right now. It's like Phantom Assassin bottle is okay, but generally all you need if you want to sustain your mana pool is a Ring of Basilius or a Ring of Aquila. And if you want to sustain your health pool is a Helm of the Dominator or a... Oh my god, I want to say Mask of Death. Why is Dota 1 invading my mind right now? Morbid Mask, there it is. So, yeah, you kind of just need either one of those. Bottle does similar things, but it is pretty expensive. Like, this is 700 gold that Phantom Assassin is spending that the Sniper isn't. And I'm pretty sure the Bottle isn't really going to be used for very long. The value that Bottle gives you of being able to hold runes and then use them later is certainly going to be relevant some of the time. However, I don't really know if you can depend on it all the time because, well, I mean, she first of all tried to go for the last rune, and though the bottle did help her a little bit in that, it wasn't really relevant enough. So, I mean, yeah, the bottle is going to be nice sometimes for bottling runes, but only if you don't get crashed and completely destroyed in the process. Also, quick note, by the way, guys, if Dota ever goes completely silent, that's because I'm tabbed out, usually messing with stream settings or something, looking up schedules or checking out what the admins are saying. So that's the reason of that. And I don't really know why OBS does that, but it certainly ends up being the case. So if Dota ever goes completely silent, you lose all game noise, that's the reason. It's not because it's broken or anything. It's because OBS is being a little annoying. And that's just the way it is. But it looks like everyone's back in. So hopefully, Power Rangers end this game in 10 minutes because every single 10 minutes is going to mean that Sachlo is going to have to disconnect and reconnect. And I can only take so much of that before I start seriously consider blowing my brains out. And blow your brain isn't even in this game, so what the hell am I to do? Alternatives are running thin. Alright, maybe we can get this game going. I don't know. Both teams are just going to play this as slow as they possibly can. This is going to be benefiting the Hannah Midas team, obviously. Sniper with his, again, not that fast, but certainly a lot faster than the Zero Hannah Midas side of Power Rangers. And can Power Rangers actually punish the Sniper for going for this type of item? They need Viper Ventral Spirit if they're going to want to jump anyone. I suppose a team fight with Ravage would also work, although for just the Sniper, it's probably not the best way to approach things. So, who knows? Maybe they're going to start a massive team fight soon, but I think just the farm they're getting on Phantom Assassin and Viper should be fine. This is going to be just like more so a foot race than in Dota, which is normally like a game of any other sport that you could think of because there's not going to be that much interaction. It's like both teams just doing their own thing, and they're fine with it. And we'll see what their own thing involves. We do see J4 Cheshire Cat moving down towards the bottom lane. Of course, as I say, they can't really do anything versus the Sniper. They start to go and do some things towards the Sniper. A Ravage being committed with a Gush Anchor Smash is pretty backbreaking, and Sniper is none too tanky, so he's really going to have to play a little bit careful. However, it's going to be Cryo J to scout everything out first, potentially. He's going to see that there's no creeps here, so he's going to know that someone was just there, and they're going to sprint for this. Yeah, I mean, Slardar is kind of on the tanky side. He has quite a bit of armor, but sprint makes him paper, so really got to be careful, fucking mad. I guess he's going to take a little bit of farm here and there, and getting a quick Blink Dagger can open up a whole lot more opportunities for Denial. However, I don't think that's really going to be happening anytime soon, as fucking mad is still quite a ways away from it. Maybe if he just sneaks farm in here and there, then he'll get it, but I don't really see that realistically happening. I know what, he does have Cryo Jet right behind him. Maybe he's trying to bait in the Tidehunter into a man fight. This is a level 5 versus a level 7 hero, so if you're a Tidehunter, you're feeling pretty good about this scenario. He's got to know that something else is here, though. I mean, he's got to expect there's going to be a random assassinate, so if he does end up starting a fight, then soon he's going to get a bullet to his head. So, I mean, it's something that Tidehunter can deal with. He's very tanky, almost 1,000 HP without any health items, so maybe he'll be comfortable enough getting that, but he's just happy farming down the bottom lane for a blink dagger. Both heroes are, actually. This is the game where fishes want to blink. And really, Naga Siren is the only left out fish. She's the only one who doesn't really like blink daggers. She really has to get with the schedule, I think. I mean, Slark loves himself some blink, Slaughter as well. Naga Siren just loves the radiance. She loves the shiny things. And when I'm talking about like nonsense, speaking of that, top lane's gonna die. Phantom Assassin with one more dagger gets roared for her troubles. Now the boar slow. Here comes the headshots from Paris, and the assassinate not quite gonna be there. He's instead gonna change his mind, go for Sonico, but the ultimate procs just in time for Abaddon, and he ends up saving his own life. Sniper making a rotation up. Unfortunately, a little bit too late to save the Beastmaster, but it was certainly very close. But close doesn't actually mean anything in Dota. Beastmaster getting on the wrong end of a couple of crit daggers from the Phantom Assassin. There's not really that much you could do about this. In the meantime, we see fucking Mad and Cryo. They're going to be rotating around. They do see, I believe, yes, the stack being attempted. And J4, well, he's going to lay an Observer Ward down, so not going to be surprised in that regard. But they're going to try to sprint for a Viper kill. Really, you want to do this. I guess there's amplified damage, so it's possible. There's the Crush. Going to land onto the real one. Ditchy is going to take quite a bit of physical damage, but does have the mech. Gets coiled for his troubles. Here comes Slacho. Big crit on Cryo J. Nightmares himself immediately. Fucking Matt has a sprint up, but he's getting critted down left and right. Ditchy is going to survive. Here comes the Assassinate. Boom! Headshot. And that's Viper down. But it's going to be a 2-for-1. Slacho looking to make it a 3-for-1. Basically, whoever he can find, he will jump on. Wants to get the sniper, that's the ideal, but he's instead going to have to settle for Jaral. First of all, dagger misses, but he does have a Phantom Strike. Will jump forward. How many crits is he going to get? Probably not that many, because he just got like 4 in a row versus the Bane, so Phantom Assassin probably used up all of her RNG for that one, but still it's going to be a 1-for-2, and though Denial get a higher priority kill, it's still Power Rangers taking more in, as far as numbers are concerned. That being said, Sniper also did get the last hit there, so I guess you could call it for the most part even, although I would go slight Power Rangers after that entire exchange is said and done. If they had the Beastmaster there with a roar or something like that, then definitely they could have been a little more comfortable in going for that, and they probably would have gotten away with something, but going for a Viper is always incredibly risky. Like, you do have amplified damage, which is I suppose very nice, but this is going into a mech, and that's never something you want to do with 2 weak-ish supports. Like, pure damage is the best way to do it with Bane, but Slaughter is kind of a low damage support. And I didn't actually realize I would be saying that today. Slardar is a low damage support, was actually said today on HeflaTV, guys. Josh, though, up on top lane is going to be set up on Funzy. Has a very sneaky roar. I think he might... Fucking Mad is definitely seen. He walked right past an Observer Ward. But the Beastmaster might not be. He's going to settle for a little bit of jungling right now. If they really wanted to, they could dive Josh, though, and just put the pigs on him and be happy with that, but they're going to instead decide to go for a different task, as Power Ranger's going to go for something different as well. It's going to be a smoke up, and they're going to crash top lane. It's unfortunately going to be Jaral and fucking Mad to most likely take the bullet, although it's going to be them bypassing it entirely. And now Funzy's in a little bit of trouble. Hawk is great, but it also kind of lures you into a false sense of security, because you're like, oh, there's no one here. I'm going to be able to do whatever I want. And then suddenly, 10 million heroes are here. And Funzy's going to get hit with a magic missile. And Cheshire Cat's going to close in as well. Roar into the Titan is going to help him survive. Jaral throwing a coil and an orb away. Funzy's going to be the casualty of war. Actually, Jaral not jaunting away. What? He just threw an orb. And he didn't jump away to it. So, I don't know. I mean, it seemed like he could have escaped. The fucking said dying pretty much right before he would have picked up his Blink Dagger. Plus, Ravage was not used, and now Blink Dagger's up on Cheshire Cat. He's going to look to make a fight happen towards mid, but unfortunately can't find anyone. Still Tower Destruction going the way of Power Rangers. And Slaughter, where's your Blink, man? You haven't done jack shit in this game, so you might as well start now. I don't know if he can get much. We have a Blink Dagger on Sniper, which is certainly very nice, but, I mean, for Denial, they're relying so much on their base skills and just minor cost-effective items. It's a plausible situation, but it's also very, very delicate right now. Since if they mess up a coil, or if they get jumped or get hit with a Ravage, they're just screwed. They have to be the ones starting things with the Roar, and anything outside of that just isn't going to work. That being said, the last fight was a 5 versus 2, so if you could take that fight, then you're probably going to win the game anyway. So they were kind of expected to lose a couple heroes, and it wasn't really too surprising that Denial ended up losing that one, but jump in on now on Funzy. Sasha landing 3 hits, getting 0 crits. Sometimes it's just the way it goes as the Phantom Assassin. She is going for a Battle Fury build in this game. which isn't the worst, I think. I mean, if you're a little bit behind, if the enemy has a Hand of Midas, then you could just very easily go for that. Paris is going to get swapped down to the low ground, blinks out to the high, and now he's going to try to TP out. J4 doesn't have vision, will not make that happen, but it's going to be fucking mad to get magic pistoled and then gushed up. He's going to sprint, try chase forward for J4, but a blink in from Shotro is going to annihilate that Slardar. Support Slardar, guys. I guess he has a blink now, but, I mean, oh, no. Okay. This is actually, I think, a little bit better than blink. Quite honestly, like, if this game is going to progress at a rate where Denial are going to be turtling and trying to avoid fights, they have initiating power on the Beastmaster and now the Puck now that they have a blink dagger. Slardar is guaranteed now a blink in this game unless the game just ends in 10 minutes, which I said previously because in 3 minutes we're going to have another pause from shots, so mark my words, 20 minutes is going to happen. But, yeah, they don't really need a blink on Slardar, and the Hand of Midas attack speed is going to be completely irrelevant in this game, at least for now. But he will be able to get a couple more levels up, and this is a great way for any support, let alone a Slardar, in order to guarantee a contribution later on if the game is going to drag out, and it looks like it's going to get to that stage. So I actually don't mind this pickup from the Slardar that much. He's still going to be putting himself in some dangerous situations because here comes the swap back into a magic missile, and it's like, well, you have a Hand of Midas, man. I bet you wish you had literally anything else right now because that Hand of Midas literally didn't do anything for you there. They're going to try to reinitiate now. Denial with an assassinate onto J4. Roar not going to happen. It's actually going to happen on the PA. Coil onto 3. Wheel kill off the Vengeful Spirit, but a Ravage is going to connect through onto the Beastmaster, killing him off in his hurry. Now Gerald is going to crit down by Shotshell. Brainstop's going to make that a 1-for-1. And now Shishikat going to get the cancel with the Fiend's Grip. I think the Kraken Shock took that out, but it's still the headshots from Sniper is going to make it a 3-for-3. And they kill off the Phantom Assassin. They kill off the Tidehunter. That's pretty much as good as it gets for Denial. In the Puck, the Beastmaster going to be the 2 core trades, but it's still going to be a 3-for-3 that is going to slightly benefit, I suppose, the Denial side as they clean up in the end, and it's Sniper to take all the benefits. So Sniper moving forward, typically not a hero that could just, you know, YOLO mode 1v5 and come out on top. Needs a very tanky front line. So that scenario where all of Denial goes in and starts the fight, and then Sniper is kind of on the offsets, plinking away with his headshot, is where you want your Sniper to be. But he also has a blink dagger and doesn't have any damage items just yet. He's going to go for a mithril hammer. I'm inclined to think this is going to be a Maelstrom, but part of me wants to hope that it's going to be a Desolator just for more minus armor. It's going to be Maelstrom, okay. I mean, that's probably the safer item. It lets you get another orb effect down the line, and hell, maybe you get both, but yeah, Maelstrom is generally what you want as Sniper. If you get a lot of attack speed, you get a lot of headshot procs, you get a lot of chain lightning, and suddenly you're Razor, which is sweet. But in the meantime, Power Rangers with a little bit of minus armor of their own, with the Vengeful Spirit and Tidehunter going to annihilate Roshan, and then Phantom Assassin now with the double life is going to be going for that Helm of the Dominator. So expect to see a little, actually maybe an armlet. This might be an armlet game. Power Rangers, they know that there's now 2 Hands of Midas on the other end. They can't punish that because they don't have any of their own. Armlet is the type of item you get on Phantom Assassin when you want to be aggressive and you want to end the game before 40 minutes. Like, you can sell the armlet later on, but it generally isn't the goal of that item. So this might actually be an... Never mind. I mean, it wouldn't be terrible to pick up an armlet on Phantom Assassin. It has worked very well in the past. It's just not as common. Shoch, though, going to look to set up over towards the mid lane. They have a Tidehunter with Ravage and 30, but they have to worry about both bottom lane and top lane. Very slowly being pushed out by their respective heroes. Funzy with 1 point aura only is not going to be able to do too much. And fucking Mad is not going to be able to do jack in that push. So there's minor harassment on these towers of Power Rangers. They're going to put Ditchira right onto that tower. Not really doing that much damage, however. I mean, the Viper can't do that much damage. He has another Toxin, but he doesn't have any damage items except for Power Treads. Could you even call Power Treads a damage item? I don't think you can. And it's actually going to be Denial ending up on the upper hand on this race. They force Power Rangers back. They put a lot more damage on the enemy tower than they take. And also, Doral in the bottom lane is doing some pretty good work as well. He's going to bring the tower down to about half HP, make a clean retreat. Fucking Mad and Funzy are going to use the Hawk to perfectly scout out everything. So they're going to know exactly what's up, and yeah, they're going to make a defense. This is where the Hand of Midas on Slardar is actually pretty good, because if you can continuously poke and prod at the enemy side and keep them off of your back, then Hand of Midas is going to get that additional 1 or 2 procs. And now Beastmaster has Boots of Travel. This is also a build that I've seen Funzy go for. In fact, I think it was last game that he played Beastmaster. He went for this build. You just go Travels into your own Hawk, and if you have anyone else in your team with Travels or anyone else on your team in the area, you could blow people up in an instant. Like, a Roar out of literally nowhere is terrifying if you're a Phantom Assassin. Like, maybe not with maybe not a Phantom Assassin with Aegis, but certainly anyone else is going to be in for quite a surprise in that scenario. So Funzy packing quite a bit of damage. And with the minus armor from the Amplified, now the Wild Axes do a crap ton. I mean, he has like, what, -6 and another -5? 10 on armor. It's quite a bit. And these Power Rangers heroes are going to take a lot from that. I think Assassinate is magical, unfortunately. Headshot should be magical as well. No, Headshot's physical. Okay, so yeah, that actually works out okay. It's certainly a roundabout way of achieving a minus armor strategy. Like, Templar Assassin would have been just like a lot more direct, but up against Viper, you probably don't want to be going for that one. Regardless, they have themselves a fighting scenario right now, but Shachlo has a double damage rune, and now the pushing from Power Rangers is no joke. Bottom lane, the Puck is still trying to do his best. All credit to him, but there's only so much that Dural can do in this situation. Tower in the mid lane is going to be dropped in a hurry, and Phantom Assassin still has an Aegis, and Denial are going to try to eke as much value as they can with that Aegis. Maybe if it's not going to be exactly a team fight, it's going to be trying to look for it with their Aegis and Ravage in tow, but wow, Denial go for a third Midas. This is incredible. No, it's a fourth Midas. No, I thought this was Midas. It's not a medallion. It's just the same color. Come on, Mike Loris. Come on. Okay. This is not a Midas on Beastmaster. It is going to be a medallion. I just saw gold and I'm like, oh my god, gold. Fantastic. But Midas on Puck. This is a kind of build that I've seen Pucks go for occasionally. And generally, I think it was Virtus Pro Polar that I liked it the most, just because they always had a Naga Siren whenever they did this. So you had a Puck guaranteed farm and a Naga Siren who's already at Radiance at this point. It's still not the worst, since you already have your Blink Dagger, and really Blink Dagger is the only item you really need from Puck. So getting the Blink Daggers, or getting the Hand of Midas is going to guarantee a couple more items down the line. Something like a Sheep Stick is something you want to have on your Puck, but is not always possible to pick up. So I don't actually hate this item on Puck. It's just incredibly greedy, and it might be punished with Power Rangers. But speaking of punishment, Shachlo, oh, so close to death, but he makes the call to TP out. And man, if the Slaughter just moved his ass just like 2 inches to the north, he would have seen everything and it would have been a free kill. But instead, they have to continue on as is. Cheshire Cat, he's going to pick up a Shiva's Guard. This is a very early item, and you know it's going to give him a whole bunch of armor for sure. And usually, Shiva's Guard is like the item that people say, oh, you get it for armor, right? And you get it for the intelligence. The Arctic Blast is, I think, relatively underrated, just because 23 minutes into the game, an extra 200 damage nuke hurts like hell. Like, normally you get it like 40-ish minutes into the game. You don't see Shiva's Guards being picked up this quickly, so the Blast isn't that relevant at that stage, but this early on, a 200 damage nuke is pretty nice. So for Tidehunter, he's going to make good use of that. He has a Blink Dagger to get in as well, so Aegis is unfortunately reclaimed by Power Rangers, but they're going to take now a secondary tier 2 tower. Fortification up on top lane, and Funzy fucking mad trying to do their best in taking that one out. But really, Power Rangers, they're slowly starting to break down the base, and we see a fight on top lane. Ditcherel is going to get Nightmare, and everyone's going to make a clean retreat. Ravage, though, going to be committed only onto Cryo J. Poor Bane. Not much you can do about that, but I suppose it's a nice little win for Denial, trading a support for a Ravage, if they can make something happen, but it doesn't seem like they want to do anything in this game, so they're going to play it glacially slow right now and try to just get as much value out of these Midases, abuse the crap out of this item, and get yourself a lot of late game. So far, we see the Slaughter picking up Power Treads off of this item, and now he's going to have enough for a Blink Dagger. So fucking mad, still a support Slaughter, but because they've delayed the game and delayed Power Rangers play for so long, this Slaughter can now start fights on his own. Of course, if he runs into a Phantom Assassin right now, he's not going to be too happy. Or if he runs into an Abaddon and Vengeful Spirit, he's still not going to be too happy. Or he can just run away and then he'll be happy. That's good too. We have Hand of Midas, number 1 on the Slaughter, doing some pretty good work. Actually, this is number 2 on the Slaughter, doing some pretty good work. Hand of Midas, number 1 on Paris, going to give him a Mjolnir. So he's attacking pretty damn quickly. And hey, applying static charge to someone like a Beastmaster or Slaughter is actually going to be fantastic. Assuming you don't use it on yourself, which is also a good way to go if you have a Phantom Assassin on top of you. The problem I see for Denial right now is that though they aren't losing, they're not in any fear of losing the game outright right now. They're losing all their towers. So far they've taken, or they've lost rather, all 3 of their outer tier 2 towers. And they have not really done anything in response. I mean, they can maybe defend high grounds pretty consistently just because they have the power of Roar and now a Blink Dagger on Slaughter with an Assassinate spam. It is certainly very possible, but it's just so difficult to defend high ground against a Blinking Ravage. So Ra might be a casualty. That's a great way to delay Power Rangers pushing. Killing off the tankiest hero that does most of the damage is going to be nice. And holy crap, what is with this game in Hands of Midas? Did someone just... No, it's a haste rune, okay. But yeah, quick note on the Midases, guys. We got 1 on J4 soon. 2 on the Courier. I mean, 1 for each hand. Although he's an octopus, he needs a little bit more than that. Now he's a spider. Needs still 6 more, so that's... Is this an octopus or squid? It's a squid, I think. I don't know. I have to count the tentacles. It's 6. So yeah, not octopus. But we have Hand of Midas now on J4 and on Sunico. Does anyone else want to get a Midas? Because, you know, now's the game to do it. I mean, might as well just grab one. Funzy doesn't look like he's going to be on the Midas train, unfortunately, but everyone else is going to be swimming in gold. This game is going to drag on, and both teams kind of happy about that. Phantom Assassin with the Battle Fury doesn't need Midas because she has another way to accelerate her farm. Tidehunter could benefit quite a bit from it. I mean, he's farming up a storm without it, so he should be fine regardless. And then that leaves Viper, who also doesn't really need the Midas, but I mean, he could get it. He's going to go for a BKB. Look at that. A good item on Viper. I'm not saying Hand of Midas is a bad item. I'm just being facetious, guys. But blink in onto Joral is instantly going to phase himself out, but gets phased in. Oh, man. That could have been very close. Like, the crit happened on the Golem, but Shachlo has a Battle Fury, so that could have done a lot of damage to Puck if the Puck wasn't perfectly timed there. But it's actually going to be Joral still fighting with Cheshire Cat. We'll mess with him a little bit, but Joral now, well, he has a Blink Dagger as an orb, needs to blink out right now, or phase shift, but he's quickly getting surrounded. Blink out to the north. Shiva's guard not quite going to catch him. Actually, it does, and he's now completely spotted. He's going to run off to the right. Joral, you got to run, man. You got to buy space for your team. Space created. Joral, mission accomplished. It's going to be Power Rangers giving up. I mean, there's no point chasing a Puck that far. It's kind of stupid. It's like he could literally be anywhere. He could have teleported out by now, and we have no way of knowing. But yeah, just space created. Small things like that is what Denial need to do right now, just to buy more space and more time for these Hands of Midases to tick away. And also doing stuff like this is very similar. I mean, you're going to be cutting off a creep wave, delaying any sort of push up towards top, and as long as Joral doesn't die from that, well, I mean, what could this creep wave do? It's going to be very quickly cleaned up, I think. Someone should be up on top lane to very quickly clean this up. Or the tower could just hold itself, because towers are, you know, independent buildings. They don't need no man. But either way, it's just like more space that Denial are trying to buy for themselves, and it's just cute little tactics in that. Funzy sees a Courier, and he also sees Cheshire Cat. He's going to steal some... No, he didn't get it. Now he's going to get chased down by Phantom Assassin, almost dying. He didn't even get the Golem, so mission failed by Funzy. I'm pretty sure you can still roar Couriers, guys. I'm not entirely sure. That might have been changed, but I know that definitely used to be a thing. That's when, like, what's his face? Burning lost his relic and then farmed it back up because his Courier got roared. But yeah, in the meantime, we have relevant things going on. Roshan going to be dropped. Viper Strike going to slow his dash speed down by so much. Not like they needed it because they had so much minus armor. Now a double Aegis or double life onto Shachlo. And now Power Rangers, with the Ravage that they've been holding on to for quite a long time, should be looking to break the high ground of Denial. I mean, now that they do have 2 Hands of Midases, maybe they'll be a little more inclined to extend the game themselves. But it seems like a coin toss right now. I mean, like, you have a double life, you have a Ravage, you might as well use it. They're going to lose a top tier 2 in the meantime. Shachlo's going to be there to defend, but he's actually all alone. And Denial, they're so scared about engaging. They kind of expect there to be more heroes behind Shachlo, which is perfectly reasonable. It's a safe assumption for sure. But they could have killed the Phantom Assassin if they, or brought down her Aegis if they actually got a good read. Joral's going to try to mesh with Shachlo just a little bit more, but he's got to be so careful. This Puck, man, Joral is just being a nuisance, and that's what Puck is good at. J4, he's stalking Paris. Maybe we're finally going to have a kill happen, although Paris unknowingly juking out this Venge. He's going to get body blocked. Now he knows what's going on. Going to get hit with the magic missile. Cheshire Cat there to receive the swap, and then the beatdown. That's a ton of minus armor from J4. I mean, this is what, plus... Yeah, so we got +6, another +6, and then a gush on top of that. And that was all laid correctly. So, yeah, -17 is pretty good. It's okay. It's okay, and Sniper didn't stand a chance in hell there. So he's going to be down for a minute, and, well, Power Rangers are slowly converging on the Denial base. Beastmaster's pushing down bottom lane as best he can with the Necro units up, but they're not going to last too long, and his push isn't going to be as devastating as the Power Rangers push, who are going to go all 5 down the mid lane, maybe? Maybe they're better off splitting up. I don't know. They're going to force fortification pretty early, though. Bottom lane is pushing, though I think Power Rangers can ignore that if they really want to, because they're looking for a team fight right now. A Ravage from Tidehunter is almost going to guarantee them that, and well, Jarrell's going to blink forward for a nice silence. Cheshire Cat going to blink forward for Gush and the fucking Mad. Viper Strike as well, but the tower is now going to be beaten down. Enfeeble on Shotzo is going to be a little bit annoying, but certainly nothing that he can't shrug off. He's still doing 150 a pop, which is kind of low end, but when you're getting minus 90, there's nothing really you can do about that. So slow and steady. May not win the race, but at least it doesn't end up splattered on the walls. And blink forward fucking Mad. Is this the initiation they want? Roar into Ditchy with a nice two-man coil as well. But here comes the Tidehunter. Gonna zone everyone out. In the meantime, it's just the Puck all alone. The Sniper's gonna do what he can. Assassin onto Ditchy is gonna do next to nothing. It's fucking Mad. Now the Static Charge on him is going to try to get the Crush out. He gets critted down though. That's one casualty. Instantly Denial have to buy back because their racks are still in trouble. So Nico still fighting with Jor-El in the back end. But here comes Sasha. Will make quick work of that Puck. Gonna get himself a double kill. Double buyback now from Denial as they're going to try to mobilize back on the front lines. But they're still fighting into a Ravage. Fucking Mad. Going to get in there with the Crush onto Ditchy. Is gonna take quite a bit of damage. Viper, but he's still going to survive. In the meantime, Slash, though, deep within the enemy base, wants to use Aegis. So the plan right here is to, okay, use a bad Ravage into only fucking Mad, but they might be able to kill off this Slaughter regardless. With the Viper Strike, he will be guaranteed to die. Aegis now going to be dropped by the Phantom Assassin, but she'll be back up soon. The Raxes have already been taken. Here comes Drell, back in the back line. He will be jumping into a pile of 3 heroes, but he will be able to walk his way out of there. As in the meantime, everyone else is zoned out for now. Rax is taken by Power Rangers. And this is actually showing up to be a very similar game to game number 1 of Aftershock versus Denial, where a very similar thing happened. 30 minutes in, and Melee Rax is taken after a very, very scrappy fight. A very poor Ravage from the Tidehunter, but honestly, they didn't even need a Ravage to land there, so it doesn't even matter. This is now Power Rangers with a vast, vast lead. In Denial, you could have all the gold hands in the world, but if you don't have space and time to use them, it's not going to do jack for you. So Sachso is now packing almost 6,000 gold. Going to almost go for a straight up Abyssal. Not quite enough gold for that. We have a straight up refresher on the Tidehunter now with Shiva's Guard. Is going to be doing quite a ton of damage. And 3,400 gold on the Viper. Not too shabby himself. A couple basic items being picked up from the supports. But they're also holding on to quite a bit of net worth. Whereas for Denial, the Slardar so far done nothing for the team. Again, a Centaur could have done the exact same thing the Slardar has done in this game, except better. And a little bit more additional stuff as well, so that's nice. Sniper, is he big enough at this point to kill off anyone reliably? MKB is going to mean that he has a chance of killing off the Phantom Assassin, just because he doesn't have to worry about Blair anymore. But still, it seems a little bit thin for Paris. I mean, he's a glass cannon, straight and simple, which is typically the build for snipers, but I mean, that's just the pick that they've chosen. Denial. They're going to try to crack back on the top lane, force Power Rangers back, but Power Rangers, they are still, or they will pack a Ravage in 40 seconds, so they will be fine to take a little bit of damage in this tower, or they can just teleport back. In a race scenario, Power Rangers, I don't know if they come out ahead, but they're certainly going to try. Oh no, with the double damage rune, they certainly come out ahead. Or they can fight with double damage rune and reliably get one-shot kills on people like Funzy. Phantom Assassin, got to watch out for her jump in. Going to annihilate the Necrobook unit first. Cheshire Cat's going to jump forward. Going to get roared, but a nice Shiva's Guard going to connect onto everyone. Taking quite a bit of damage, but that's kind of his job. Chacho's going to jump forward. Wants to go for Drell. A nice coil and a nice 3-man crush and fucking Mad. But it's all in the name of just trying to escape. Cryo J is going to get swapped back and destroyed. Now fucking Mad going to go the other way. Just buying space for his team. But I don't really know if the Slaughter has any way of getting out from this one. Has a blink to the crush TP. Oh, okay, he's actually going to live. That's pretty nice. But all these value skills for Denial, that was probably their best team fight so far as skills that landed. Like a 2-man coil and a 3-man crush is probably as good as you're going to get. Yet Denial were in no position to fight there, so they actually couldn't continue the fight and they had to fall back. They take a tier 3 tower. That is completely irrelevant in this game, as Power Rangers, they are about this far ahead. About that far ahead. 14k in net worth, with almost 13k in the experience as well. I don't know why my dog keeps barking. There's no one outside. There's never anyone there. But, yeah, so Power Rangers, they're more than okay with giving away a tier 3 tower here and there. It's like, go ahead, take a tier 3 tower. We have plenty to spare. Whereas Denial are working a racks down. And, well, now Power Rangers have double Ravage up. And, well, they don't have an Aegis like last time. They probably don't need an Aegis like last time because Phantom Assassin has a BKB at 8 seconds, has an Abyssal Blade completed, and she is pretty much a one-man army. I mean, the only reason Aegis was actually used in the last fight was because Sachso really wanted to use it and therefore kind of suicide dove. It worked out okay, so I mean, Phantom Assassin just won't do that in the future, and then she'll be happy. It's going to be top lane that's going to be pushed, but a crush onto Sachso with the damage from Sniper, so much of it as well. Assassinate, boom, headshot, deadsies. Man, that's some damage right there. That's what I'm talking about. The Slaughter pick making itself work out. That's something that Centaur can't do. But now fucking Mad is like awkwardly chasing after more heroes just by himself. Buying space, I suppose. Slaughter is going to lead everyone in a wild goose chase. Assassinate going to come through some pretty decent damage to Treasure Cat, but fucking Mad's taking a lot more than he's dealing, or helping to deal towards everyone else. Here comes Cryo J. Wants to start gripping someone. Fucking Mad's going to not do anything in the corner. It's going to be Annihilation on the Bane, but the Sniper's going to pick off the Vengeful Spirit. Now going to chase after Cheshire Cat with the Haste Rune. They need more lockdown on this Tide Hunter. They don't have anything, however. The Coil could potentially land, but it's not going to happen. It's still a couple down for Power Rangers. They try to reinitiate. Ravage going to connect onto 2. Paris going to get gushed, and the Shiva's Guard is going to kill off. Fucking Mad's still in the corner because he couldn't get out, is now going to be dropped as well to the Viper Strike. Puck off to the north is going to be just fine as he teleports out, but Denial get way too overconfident. After taking that many kills, you're kind of feeling on top of the world until suddenly the world collapses on you and you realize that you're just a sniper, and Tide Hunter is just going to turn around and kill you. The Ravages were once again not too spectacular, but they end up killing the Slaughter and they end up killing the Sniper, and they get something out of that exchange at the very least. Viper's going to be collecting, as will that Tide, and that's going to be a completed heart for the Viper. Tide has not much aside from the ultimate orb in his inventory. I think you get a sheep stick in this scenario. It doesn't seem like Scotty's really the way to go for Tide Hunter, but he's pretty loaded. I mean, everyone in this game is freaking rich, man. So it's just gonna be Power Rangers just waiting for this Roshan to come up. Sheep stick on the Puck is gonna help Denial for that next Roshan fight, and if they can actually get another fight like that where they get amplified damage with the Phantom Assassin and they just have Sniper there just shooting her, then they could actually do some pretty decent damage. The only problem is that you can't really rely on your Sniper to always be in a position like that. Like, maybe off of a Roar, maybe if Sniper had Boots of Travels right now, he could join up with Funzy and they could assassinate Sneeko. That's actually very, very possible. But unfortunately, he just doesn't have what it takes, so he's not going to be able to have that opportunity. And Funzy, like, he can't do stuff by himself. He could push by himself for sure, but if he goes out for this one all alone, he's not going to get the kill. He's going to go for it regardless. Sneeko, gotta watch out. Boots of Travel is going to help him close the distance. Fucking Mad up on the high ground. Has a Blink Crush. Will instead amplify the damage. Sneeko's going to immediately buff that one out. In the meantime, Shatso Ditchirov, J4 in the Roshan pit, making short work of the big guy. And he's down. Cheese and Aegis on the deck. That's going to be Aegis for PH. He's on the Viper. And now we'll jump forward. J4 can land a stun onto Paris. This is the hero that everyone down needs to defend. They will defend him for now. In the meantime, a nice crush. Going to kill off Slatchlow first. That's Aegis down. Now Sniper off to the side. Perfect positioning from him. Going to be going onto whoever he could get his hands on, but gets slowed down by Ditchira, and you can't really get too close as Paris is going to try to kill off Sacho, but he's very quickly losing his HP, and he will be brought down, but Sacho is going to die as well. Now Ditchira, the only one back, but Power Rangers, they're going to reinforce it big time as well. Funzy is going to get beaten down. Now onto Cryo J. It's going to be him to fall. Jarrell, one of the last survivors, Denial, is going to try to sprint away with their slaughter. Our Power Rangers, they use the Aegis and cheese so well. Actually, no, they didn't even use the cheese. Do they have to buy back for any of that one? It's, didn't seem like there were buybacks. J4 bought back. And he's still alive, so I guess that's fine. But they have now Ravage to use, so that's the thing. Even though Phantom Assassin is down, he doesn't have to be up for this push. It's just going to be Ditchirod to do most of the chip damage. It's going to be very slow. I don't think they're even going to get the tower, but their objective right now is to just force the buyback out of Denial. And Puck and Slaughter will honestly have their hands full with defending the mid lane that has dropped the range Vaxes so far. Sniper's going to be forced to buy back, and maybe he can make a kill or two happen right now. This is probably the best chance that Denial actually have. Blink forward for a crush. No, just amplify damage for now. And yeah, it's just a slow beatdown on this tower. These heroes do enough damage. Tower down, now onto the melee Raxes. Looking for a Beastmaster jump in or fucking Mad. Although he's not going to be willing to jump in. It's going to be Gerald to pull the trigger first. Two-man Coil with a Roar now onto Ditchirod with Sniper on this offset. Is going to be shutting down this Viper pretty hard. Coil still onto 3. Going to fizzle eventually. But Cheshire Cat now going to take the shield. Sneeko dropping pretty low himself. Headshot. Kaboom. Dead. Abaddon down. Now Cheshire Cat J4 on the run. Phantom Assassin is quickly incoming. They're going to turn around for one Ravage. Traveling back is Funzy though. Fucking Mad Lair with a stun. And Cheshire Cat's going to get beaten down by the Sniper. That's a double kill for the Sniper. 13 and 23, and all of a sudden Phantom Assassin's all alone. and she can no longer continue this push to take down tier 3 tower. The mid lane is in shambles for Denial, but they're still kind of surviving, I guess. I don't even know if you could call this surviving, guys. This is like such a scrappy game. 3,000 gold on the sniper, still with the hand of Midas ticking away. He needs to save gold for buyback. Actually, well, he needs to, in general, save gold for buyback. Of course, he doesn't have one now, so he has 3,000 gold to spend. I suppose you go for a butterfly in this scenario. When you have MKB and you have a Mjolnir, so going for attack speed is going to be better than going for damage. So butterfly seems pretty good for him. I mean, he could get an Eagle Song right now if he wanted to, but he's going to make quick work out of all of those lanes. And well, Power Rangers, they just have to not get too comfortable in this game. They still are vastly ahead. Like, make no mistake, Denial, they have a glass cannon in top of their net worth, but everyone else from Denial is not really up there. It's going to be a crit for a sniper, so he's going to go for a little bit of damage. I mean, you have a lot of attack speed already, so balancing attack speed and damage, it's a delicate art for sure. Sniper is going to go for crit, and that's fine. Can't really go wrong with the Chrysalis on any of these heroes. The Power Rangers, they're Ravage status. They'll have one in a minute. So once they have that, then maybe they're going to go for a second set of Raxes. I mean, being a Rax up, you would think you'd be easily able to just walk in and take another set, or at least, slowly take the other set. And that's kind of been what's going on, but Denial have been defending rather well just because of how much initiation they have. With the Beastmaster Roar, Lockdown, the Slaughter Crush, and of course the Coil Jump in. All of these are just tools to buy Paris space in order to just blast people from the back line. Now the Sniper does best, and we'll see if he can do it this time because there is a push incoming. Power Rangers as a group of 5 going to be barreling down that middle lane. They have double Ravage and 30. By the time they will need it, they'll have it. Denial, they're going to try to go for a trade up towards top. They might be able to outrace, but actually no funds. You can use travels to get up to the top lane. This is not a race that Denial should be comfortable taking. As much damage as the Sniper does, Phantom Assassin does just as much. And they have to teleport back, but Funzy will not be able to return. He's going to have to start walking back, and this is going to take quite a long time. Coil on the puck now amplified by Aghanims, but that's not really going to help out either because Power Rangers, they're right on the front door. And melee Raxes, no jump in from Shotzo. Straight into Joral with the BKB up. Nightmare onto the puck. Plus a grip on Shotzo for the first time in forever. And Joral, though, is going to die regardless. Ravage is going to connect on pretty much everyone. And Shotzo is going to make short work of that Bane. Paris is not able to actually connect any of his headshots onto anyone. That's going to be a very easy 2-kill for Power Rangers. Daedalus being purchased up by the Sniper, but that's already 2 Raxes down in favor of Power Rangers now working on the tier 3s. Sniper with Shrapnel is way too slow to defend this. They have to make a fight happen like right now, but they can't. Really? They just called GG? Come on, guys. You gotta at least just fight it out. Okay, well, that's GG, guys, I suppose. Power Rangers get a little bit too much more, a little bit too consistently. The Tide Hunter was one of the most farmed Tides I've ever seen. And, of course, having a Phantom Assassin with a Battle Fury always going to be very useful as well. That's going to be it for game number 1, guys. Power Rangers going to go up 1-0 in the best of 2 versus Denial. But because it is the best of 2, we have another game coming up shortly. Very proud of Cheshire Cat, or very proud of Shotch, though, for not disconnecting again and proving me wrong. But game number 2 coming up shortly, guys. Stay tuned for that one.